that they were able to get over there on Draft Point on Electro Dam, or excuse me, by Electro Dam was fantastic.
Okay, we are getting ready now, everybody. Everyone's loaded into the lobby. Thank you for your patience. Let's get this started. We're here, we're ready to go, and we're ready to start off our finals. First game, as Jamerson mentioned, we are going into E-District. It's a snake draft year too, of course. So we're gonna have E-District, World's Edge, Broken Moon, Storm Point, and then we go right back around here into Broken Moon, World's Edge, E-District, and then World's Edge again. Make sure you guys tweet at us. Let us know which team you want to win. How many games do you expect it to go? Jamerson, I'm putting you on the spot right now. What team do you think is going to take it? How many games are going to take to go?
I'm going to go with Alliance in 5.
Ooh,
if Alliance do not do it in 5, it will be Falcons in 7. I believe we see that teams put a lot of thought and emphasis on our map draft. Taking a look at Alliance, our first seed coming into this one. This was a 3rd pick for them, and that's kind of fortunate because this is, again, Alliance, a squad that commands respect on other maps, and so they're allowed to let their 4th pick of Storm Point and still secure themselves Trident throughout that. And so because of that, they get that pick on E-District in 3rd, and still a pretty decent spot.
Alliance specifically, over the few games that they have been able to play on E-District, those dominating games at that, have been the team to get the most points thus far in this entire lobby on E-District specifically. And that's with some teams playing even more games on E-District versus Alliance, who only had to play through pools and not the last chance qualifier. That was with them securing 22 points, the highest that we have seen on E-District.
Yeah, and for Alliance, coming out from Shipyard, they're going to look at history just a little bit, right? The 7 times that we ended up playing on E-District, well, we've got 3 energy bank circles, 2 of them going toward that southern side.
Let's get this going, everyone. I love this stage. Huge screens as a flyby happens on E-District to kick off our match point finals within our mid-season playoff of the ALGS. We're going global here as we get to see Alliance Falcons, who will rise to the top. Love E-District. I love the incorporation of these legend bands and what that means, because we've been seeing Alter be that legend to always be the first to go out.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a little bit tired of the legend meta, just wait a game. Just wait a game, because someone's going to get banned out, and all of a sudden, it gets open wide in terms of legend compositions, legends picked. Teams divert pretty early on, but in particular, we do need to note the crypto. We saw some hyper-accelerated ban rates coming out from him. In Group A, he did escape the bans. In Group B, he ended up getting banned around Game 5, Game number 6, but in the LCQ, it was Game number 3 where he was banned out.
And looking at this already, look at the amount of Watsons. It's going to be Watson as the first legend gone on E-District for this first game. How crazy is it that that season patch here going into the ALGS for mid-season playoffs has significantly changed the Watson pick rate?
Heading into the match point finals, Alter was leading in terms of ban priority, but now with this first ban onto Watson and the strength that she provides, it is no question why. We saw the biggest of buffs coming out to her entire kits, as we got 100 Thieves first on the move right now over here at Energy Bank. Be able to secure this ring console for us eventually. Oh, they do actually already have it, and it's going to be pulling up north to Lotus, and we were talking about a team that converts so extremely well here on E-District, Vicky, and it's NIP getting that pull up towards Lotus.
Oh, they're going to be feasting out here. They're also going to get the memo once they start seeing other teams rotate, because they're not the only ones here that have to look around, because Gen G have now made their appearance. Team Liquid that exit out of Electro Dam have a ring console to that south side of Electro Dam, so they got that scan already quickly rotated. Same thing for rival Esports Sentinels and Wolf Esports too. It's getting hot here as NIP have already lost out on Vayne. That's Dexter picking up the first kill within our match point finals game 1.
They're going to try and make their way out of Lotus here, but so many teams have already shown up. Wolves Esports, rivals as well. NIP looking to see if they have a mobile respawn beacon, and they do in the hands of McLovin. So they will have an opportunity to get him right back on in without too much pressure applied. The difficulty is once that mobile respawn beacon goes down, once you plug him in, all these altars will be able to jump right on top of you.
Yeah, you want your crypto player to stay alive to then remotely get that res instead. So that's not going to be the case for them since they lost out on that crypto player here. Let's see if we can make the magic happen because it's already looking congested up here. We know over by Lotus that there's a lot of space to coexist, and it's like an altar playground to feast from. Phony taking a lot of damage, 100 Thieves playing off the low ground.
Yeah, one member of Gen G ends up going down here. NIP get a little bit of revenge as they plug Vayne back on in. So they trade kill for kill, but Asia might be the next one to go down. Gen G, our first place team out of that last chance, almost knocked out here in game number 1.
Served on a silver platter in the line of sight of 100 Thieves who walk in, pick that up. They were in some trouble, specifically Gen G. They were running from that team on the outskirts. We saw NIP Curve also taking some damage there on the other side of that building. 100 Thieves have been able to now find that building secured. Newcastle wall in that corner. We get to see the highlight here too. What happened with Gen G before as Ninjas in Pajamas are going to be moving from this spot. They do have the Fusey, they do have the crypto, they have the information. Kirv now looking behind him, he's with the bow check in hand.
The difficulty about trying to hold this level of the building is just that there are so many different walls that you have to cover, right? The angles that you have to cover might be a little bit too much to handle. So unless your team is on it at all points, maybe try to retreat into a smaller spot. E36 have worked their way on in. Rival Esports, we're looking for an opportunity to try and pepper them, but Enterforce should be able to set up with the Watson. For Rival Esports, though, just holding it all down. They've got a good setup with these Watson traps. Enterforce 36 inside this little tunnel should be relatively safe. They've got the other buildings around them that will basically play a barrier around them, and they should be a team that can convert this into a top 5 position.
55% of this lobby, by the way, is rocking the Altar, Crypto, and the Watson. So you know these EMPs are going to delete these Watson fences since 90% of the lobby is running the Watson within those compositions as Fnatic involved in a fight. We were talking about Fnatic earlier before. I believe they had finished Group A in 3rd place overall. Looking at Jen Burden, 100 Thieves still settled in the middle of that building, eating out a nade, trying to see if they could get that kidnap on the altar, but it's going to be mostly a standoff here.
Yeah, one thing to note with that interaction between the Crypto and the Watson.
Okay.
The simple fact that the Watson gets her nodes back so much faster now, it's not as big of a, as a detrimental thing, right? As long as you have 3 charges of your nodes up and ready. Ooh,
dude.
Nice little spam there from Jen Burn, but can they follow up on it? The pylon set up. It'll eat up that nade. 100 Thieves are looking to get aggressive, and now they're charging forward. Colonel Garcia might be the next to go.
Oh, what a great first knock here for Jen just to start off this fight, but Burrows Phony take a lot of damage. They dance around the Moby shield, and 100 Thieves with a very clean fight takeover. Jen getting all those 3 knocks, Fnatic getting eliminated, the first team to go out in this lobby.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about having that retreat position for yourself. That's the nice thing about running that Newcastle, having that extra wall. So you basically create a second room to be able to play on instead of that entire lobby of the building floor to try and control. It's so difficult with the prevalence of the altar right now, especially here on E District. You can get approached from any angle.
Crazy, 100 Thieves with that Newcastle comp, like you said. Already 4 KP, leading the way in this lobby. I don't know where they took Phony. Maybe put him somewhere. They gave him crazy vision, crazy mechanics, replaced his hands here while they were at it.
We can rebuild him. Sir, he only needs his appendix removed.
Slowly entering our cyberpunk era. Actually insane, man.
Team Nemesis now on the move. Another team that was able to survive that fray in the last chance qualifiers. It came down so close for them as well. They're just happy to be here, but they are moving their way through Galleria right now. You can see that altar port being set up just in case. It's been some time since they have hit a man scan, and they have Alliance shadowing from Energy Bank along the way. So they're just playing this one extra cautiously. They'll have another survey beacon scan to hit to know where they can go safely inside of Lotus.
Yeah, it's important to know in an end zone like this, even with this EMP coming out here as Falcons are looking at the team up ahead, they're trying to see if they can gatekeep the squad that's over to their south side. It's going to be Kino Truck, it looks like here. Yukapero is going to now have to wrap around. They do have the blue Evo shield versus Falcons, who does have that purple Evo. You can see how over to the side, who takes it off angle, and one clips that one teammate here onto Cannon. Walty follows up. Hal gets taken out, but it's only one player left. Can he clutch this? The EMP from afar. Walty, though, looks like he was trying to reload. Pressing square now, forced to backtrack. The reset with the Alter Void Nexus.
S8UL here for that third party. And so unfortunately for Falcons, getting their drone taken out, not having the EMP in the fight, just slowed them down too much. If they could have connected with it, if that drone didn't get taken out, this should have been a clean wipe for them, especially with how well Falcon got that entry frag. And then the follow-up from Waltzy. Luckily, S8UL show up in time, come in for the third party, pick up an early kill for themselves, and now keep that western side of Lotus free for themselves. We're not quite sure where this next ring is going to pull into Lotus proper. Is it going to go to the north side, towards the southern side? But there are indications that it could be coming over to the slow side that S8UL were able to take away from Falcons.
There's so much space to coexist on Lotus. It's such a big POI. We were highlighting that yesterday. It takes a lot of time to loot here too. But there is that jump tower that's right next door. Even crazier when the zones end up pulling in this direction. Oh my goodness. All right, 330 shots. We're going to beam him. QQ having to reset. Using the shield cells instead. He had 11 of them beforehand, but we have to keep our eyes to see if Falcons will be able to reset over by Resort. There was no replicator there, so they're going to have to go all the way down south, and then they're going to have to take their time to rotate into that next zone. Really, the only replicator that's close on the outskirts of that zone is south of City Hall. So it's going to be a little quiet here, and Alliance will continuously hold that south side of the next zone for themselves. So that's going to be perhaps an inevitable fight for these teams.
Yeah, you have to be worried if you're a Falcons fan right now. Trying to go for that res over at City Hall could easily call Alliance your way. You can see right now, they are on the side of the zone that has very little congestion. And so if they see that res, this is a team that will run it down. They don't need to control that that position for themselves, as Na'Vi ends up getting eliminated to VP. Alliance just continue to hit that scan, and it does show that the ring will be pulling a little bit down here to the south.
Nice looking right behind them. They're going to be wrapping around here though, but they're not going to be engaging anytime soon. They're actually just going to poke from afar, but they're not looking to try to take these fights because the majority of these teams are over to the south side. A lot of these buildings, a lot of these floors, allowing these teams to share that space. Mythic Bin will be spawning in the next 2 seconds though, and it's closer to Rock and TSM over by the south side of Lotus.
Yeah. In the meantime, Falcons are able to hit a man scan as they go for a replicator, but we're on board with NIP. Like they were possibly looking to get aggressive onto VP, but they don't want to give up the position inside of their building quite yet. We can see on the map there from VP, the ring will be pulling towards the eastern side of Lotus. So for the teams that we saw earlier that were established there on the west, S8UL, Alliance, Rock Esports, will all have to move forward with the next zone.
The team who called out the potential shift over to the east side was VKG, who landed in Humbert Labs, so they wrapped around the entire east side of E District. Same team Nemesis though inside this building. Again, just looking ahead at that Wraith portal, was a team that was trying to engage here originally, maybe trying to see if they could get cheeky with a kidnap. Well, it's VKG that are up that hill too, it looks like. Wolves Esports on the same building as they're trying to collapse. It was Alliance actually on the other side. There's now a replicator over to the south side of Alliance, and this is what I was worried about. With Falcons now getting the res, it's been the green light. Alliance were trying to clear their backs. They heard the res, and they're now looking on to see if they could take this fight against the bludgeoned Falcons, who now have to reset.
Currently, we have the two fraggers of Alliance setting up. You can see Unlucky along with Effect setting up the crossfire at this choke. No eyes on them quite yet. Hawkus, the man, the eyes in the sky, ping down from Unlucky, telling them that someone is coming out around from the right-hand side. Alliance are on the hunt for this kill, and it's Team Falcons were able to utilize that altar portal to get themselves up towards that northern choke instead, completely avoiding this fight with Alliance.
The altar Void Nexus is so insane. It can cover like 2 POIs if you space them out with one another, since you could put 2 down. Great placement here, works out considering it was still active. Zero being on that altar early on when they were originally trying to take this fight, grabbing back their loot. 30-30 pings from afar, as Alliance had no idea that they had that altar portal. They were looking to try to keep up with the delete, the evac tower. Zero now forced to wrap around here together. with what looks like Hao, who also had fallen down. So they're going to be able to regroup all together as a full squad around that next corner. Feeling that pressure, but uncontested in this choke is great because nobody's waiting for them to gatekeep them on the other side of this hedge.
Just ahead of them, though, they do have Gen G and 100 Thieves. I believe Gen G might just be a solo still. Yeah, they are. Never able to really recover. Unfortunately, it's going to be their Watson player remaining. The next ring pulling far east. VK Gaming. Vicky, you had mentioned it. They're kings at calling the zones, it seems like, and they're controlling that eastern choke. They know no one's coming up behind them, and so now they just need to start working on this eastern side. Start whittling away at Team Nemesis, Wolves Esports, and Sentinels. Try to alleviate some of that pressure and walk their way on in for free.
No one's got it at Mythic Bin, by the way, and the reason why that is because Rock Esports are holding the high ground with that Mythic Bin in their line of sight. Wondering if they could send somebody over there, since the two teammates of Rock Esports holding that high ground will be able to give suppressed fire to that one member if they're looking to try to get a third party. But it's Zero opening things up with the Arc Star, getting that knock onto Verholst and following up with the bow check in hand. Great fight. They heard the fighting happening here already before. Zero trying to get the shield swapped out. Can't get a gear on time before jumping right in. And thankfully, at the hands of his teammates, alongside the Watson Gen, they do get the reset.
Ooh, a little bit scary there for Zero. For 100 Thieves, though, they do recover Verholst's banner at the very least. Dexter's waiting on the roof for them. And I don't see a mobile respawn beacon for Jen Burton there. We'll see if Phony has one. There's plenty of time to try and get him back on in. What the difficulty is that Falcons know it's a duo above us. We can push this team at any moment. 100 Thieves now working around it. Phony does have that mobile respawn beacon.
He has it, and it's great here too, because looking at the blue perk that he chose for the Ultra, obviously getting that scan is a priority, but you also have that option to go for support if you may have needed it, and you already call out where these zones are going to pull instead. So at least they have that Moby here, because when you have that support perk, you can get that Moby out of the beacon, you can get that teammate banner, but Zero on fire with the bow check, takes out the TiVo. He's like, where did he go? Kieran, where did you go here? Now trying to see if he can teleport all the way up, but didn't look over to his right. He gets taken out here, get knocked by McLovin, and trying to see if Walton can try to climb up. The zone closes in behind their back, and they're eventually going to have to start moving in as Verholst looks like he's been able to get responded.
All right, for Team Falcons, though, losing out on two, and Early Hal might be the next one to fall. It's going to be Team Falcons going down. NIP hold down their position and stay up as a full three.
It's 5 teams in this building alone, and if E36 make their way in through that northern building door, that would make it 6. A lot of these teams collapsing on one another. On the north building of Lotus, you have NIP, 100 Thieves, S8UL. As now Curve goes down, Vayne here literally one-shot, tries to turn around right afterwards. McLovin seeing that Crypto, tries to slide in with the Havoc. It's only up to Vayne, outnumbered, can't do much. As 100 Thieves, after getting that res onto Verholst, then gets a reset and take out NIP.
Unfortunately for NIP, they don't even get placement points. We are now at the top 15. 41 players remaining, so 2, I believe, solos running around. One of them being Alliance, and the other, Gen G, still alive in this match.
TSM with only up to 2, literally one shot gets taken out as Rival Esports now clear out this bottom floor. Rock popping up in the feed though, finding 2 knocks onto Sentinels, finishing off Loader and Carter. They get another solo now, Jamerson, in this lobby.
Yeah, Rock giving up that high ground finally because they're forced out by that ring, but they have the long-range weaponry to poke and pick up some kill points for themselves. For VP now, they have to deal with S8UL and 100 Thieves behind them on this walkthrough. Luckily for them, they get that first knock. It's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange. VP lose out on Lou, and now Slayer without any shields. It's going to be Verholst to win the 1v1.
Wait, Verholst right now looking on form right here with the R9 popping up as Alliance no longer solo is able to get the res.
That was sneaky. There was just so much action happening inside of their building. No one could check outside. They're able to get that one in. Big EMP onto S8UL, and they are getting melted. Enter Force 36 picks up 2. Legacy, the only one alive, but for how long? 100 Thieves now charge forward with that wall. Phony peeking out. E36 cracking one member with their armor swap. Turns around. There's the knock. Phony chases for more, and he will nearly finish them off. No, it's not enough. 100 Thieves go down. Enter Force 36 still alive.
Phony can't stretch yourself out right there. 1.2k damage on the board for him alone as Rock Esports now still find more KP. Alliance effect with the red Evo shield ready to go. Wondering if they got that mythic fit, if they got a care pack. Rock stuck in this corner for right now. They hear the res right above them. It's Yanya from Team Liquid getting that knock onto VKG. We're just going to see Rock reset here, get some loot, while the action continues over to the south side of this building. It's Team Nemesis on the outside looking at Sentinels. Sentinel's gonna call out Furia climbing on top of the building.
We went from 5, somehow down to 3, now to 7 teams inside or outside this building, and only VK Gaming controlling the outside. Now Alliance up as a full 3 will get the wipe onto Furia. Team Nemesis playing inside for the time being. They've got Alliance ahead of them. They've got an extra pylon to throw down, but what more utility do they have?
At least Sentinels were able to steal a kill away from Alliance right there too, getting some more KP. Alliance have completely pressured out these teams from trying to take up the second floor. Rock playing off the low ground, but on the outside, but nowhere is safe. We need to worry about the altar. Aquatics got kidnapped, but he's able to get right back up. That's what I was about to say too. That's such a scary situation to be in. Literally just caught with your pants down here as Hockey slides in effect, gets knocked. It's Sentinels still, who are looking to climb up to even third party when originally Alliance were fighting that Furia fight. Unlucky being the only teammate though alive and healthy, but there's 2 other teams down below them.
Good third party coming out here, forcing Alliance back. They're now left to 1 player remaining. Unlucky does secure himself that kill at the very least for Sentinels now as a duo. No opportunity to try and get that res.
Floater has literally no ammo on that energy weapon as Sentinels get eliminated. Team Liquid though being on the high ground in this final zone closing, the only team who is in the best spot to win this first game is VK Gaming, the least contested team, the only team on the east side of this zone. Team Nemesis, Rock, Alliance, Wolves, and Team Liquid have to now extend as Alliance get eliminated.
Alliance get knocked out, but look at that focus fire coming out onto Team Liquid. They try to utilize this balloon, but no, it's not going to be enough. It's starting to be VK Gaming picking up a lot of kills. Wolves find 1 more on the roof, excuse me, as Liquid end up going down. Final 3 squads remaining. VK Gaming controlling the outside. Wolves porting to the out, and Team Nemesis dropping down.
Only a matter of time until Buffet is feasted on by VK Gaming, trying to extend on this fight. Nemesis being one of the teams with remake powers being on Newcastle. Gashea cannot get the shield off in time as VK Gaming are able to take the first game within our match point finals.
VK Gaming